Hello, I'm Jeff Brightwell, and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm joined by Richard Mulrooney, Tiger soccer coach at the University of Memphis. And Coach, about ready to get underway. And I know I was talking to Brooks on his show, short turnaround because of having to play the spring season. And I guess you can look at that in good ways and bad ways. I'm sure for the kids or the young men, I mean, they're happy to get back on the pitch physically. Maybe mentally, you're used to that year-long break, but here it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you like it or not, it is here. And like you said, it's a good thing for the fact that, I mean, our jobs are usually, 3 months in the office and then the 9 months of recruiting, which is fine, but, not on the field coaching, which, we signed up to do this gig and only be out there for three or so months. That's not a long time. So that's the good thing that we're back on the field. The bad thing is it is a quick turnover. And, whether it was obviously trying to recruit real quickly from what you had in the spring that you needed to improve or replace, you either found it over the summer or you didn't. But at the end of the day, it's here. The guys have made the most of it. And like you said, we're a few days away from having our first game Friday night, and we're going to make the most of it.
A couple things before we get into Friday night up in Ohio. Let's talk, first of all, 16 newcomers. I believe that's the right number. So you cannot look back at the spring season whatsoever and look at a roster and results and try to figure out, how good the team's going to be this year, just because that's a huge turnover for you.
It is. I've never had that one that big. And like we just talked about, to have it happen in 3 or 4 months, it's not like we had some join us in the spring or vice versa. I mean, it's all at one time. And it's been a good change. Like I said, the spring was tough for us in many ways. Off the field, we can talk about that, but on the field, didn't really get the results we wanted. Chemistry-wise, just it really didn't come together. So now to bring in 15 new guys to bring them together, they've all bought in. And you know what? It's we've had about 2 weeks of preseason. We've had 3 games, numerous meals together. Whereas last year, we weren't really able to eat together. So more bonding. And to say that we'll be fully ready, a well-polished machine come Friday night, probably is not the case. But I think that's true with everybody. I think it just takes time. But I can honestly say that we've, as efficiently as possible, made the most of our practices, time together now that we're allowed to do that with masks on, of course. But at the same time, knowing that come Friday night, I believe we've done everything we can to get to know each other on the field, off the field, and we'll see. We'll roll the dice out. And, if we, hopefully we're going out to win. And if we fall short, which I don't think we will, but if we did, then you know what? We're going to come back fighting for Sunday. But we'll find out pretty quickly come Friday night where we're at, and we'll improve upon that or add to it. So it's a good situation to be in. But to add that many guys in a short amount of time, it's a challenge. But the guys have been great for it, whether it's social media chats or whatever, or, living together and just, the chemistry on the field. So the guys have been open to it, which have made it easier for the coaching staff to get them incorporated just as easily.
Second thing before we get to the weekend is you look at your schedule this year, and sometimes this happens. There's every now and then there's a huge anomaly where you're just flooded with home games or road games, and the way some contracts worked out. I'm sure a lot of the pandemic fell with that, especially because of the non-conference. You didn't get to play last year. No home matches in the non-conference. You're not going to be at home for a while, and it's going to just be your 5 conference matches this season.
Yeah, it is. Whether it was from basically, returns that we didn't get to do last fall or the spring that we had to do. Obviously, the Ohio State tournament's a special one. Like I said, whether that was said we were supposed to do that last fall, and there's the enjoyment of being a student athlete too, and getting to go to a place like Ohio State. That's fun to say that you did that. Now, obviously, it's better if you have better results there, but in saying that, that's a good one. And then, some day trips in there as well. You can go to UCA in one day. We can do the UAB in one day, and obviously the Lipscomb in one day. So they're away trips, but at the same time, not so much that they're taken away from school, not so much that, we're on the road for a couple days, but challenge in and of itself. But, I mean, just the best way to go about it is take it one at a time. And we're not looking past to St. Louis. We're going to obviously take care of Ohio State first, then Lipscomb, so on and so forth. So don't get ahead of ourselves. And that's not to say, too, if the results don't come, with our first win or a second win, don't freak out about it just for the fact that we have opportunities to, still have games on the road. And then, like I said, once we finally get that first home game versus UCF, we'll be looking forward to it. But it's good bonding time, in those bus trips. You can do some fun stuff. You can hear some singing voices, and you can obviously have a lot of meetings and video too. But at the end of the day, we're going to make the best of it. And I know the guys, after going through last fall, not having a season, If we had 18 games on the road, glad we don't. But if we did, we've got to be glass half full and just be appreciative that we have the opportunity this fall.
And just depending on what state you're in, I'm sure you saw the match with the women the other night with Ole Miss and Memphis. Hopefully most states are a little bit like us in the fact that you can have a full complement of fans back, and that'll make a big difference this season, is getting to play back in front of a good environment.
It's always nice to have people there. It's a little eerie to not have anybody in the stands at all, whether you're playing at Temple or at home versus Memphis. So it's good for the game. It's good for all sports. We're all excited about a full Liberty Bowl. We're all excited about the FedEx Forum, and obviously for our own sport to have people out there. And that was a great crowd that the women got. And you were on the call for ESPN Plus. So it was good on all environments to be able to broadcast and publicize the game that we love. And, once we get back to South Campus, we're hoping our team will have that as well.
All right, let's talk about the weekend. You mentioned a couple times up to Ohio State and their tournament. You're going to play the Buckeyes. You're going to play the Dayton Flyers.
Yeah, Ohio State speaks for itself. Big Ten. I've known their. Funny enough, way back in the day, I played against their coach in MLS and with the national team. So one of the best guys that I know. Very friendly on and off the field, and we've stayed in contact. And obviously, for him to invite us to his tournament, couldn't be happier. But he's changed that program around. A few years ago, they were winning 2, 3, 4 games, to be honest with you. And with his pedigree coming, being an assistant at Indiana, taking that program over is only a matter of time. And if you look at their record, it's gotten better each and every season. And they're going to be competitive come Friday night. Now, we don't know much about them. Obviously, I'm sure they had preseason games that we weren't able to see or get scouts on. It works both ways. We had 3 preseason games that I'm assuming that they don't have a lot of information on us. So it's a matter of just going out, putting your guys out there, and going in there confident. It's Ohio State, we know that, but we're Memphis. And we're proud of that, and we just have to make sure we go out there with that respect and making sure we battle for 90 minutes. I can honestly say it's not going to be any higher than we had here. It's a 7:00 game, so we'll have obviously the starting 11 and a bench that's ready to get in. And as I mentioned earlier, just roll the dice. Obviously, have some type of tactical game plan. But at the end of the day, not knowing much about them, it's going to be about us and how we show up and ready to compete for 90 minutes. And if we do that, it really gives us a good chance going into Sunday's game against Dayton, who plays UAB before us on Friday. So we'll be able to watch that game. They'll be able to watch ours. So we'll have a little bit more of a game plan going into that. But that will be a warm one as well, being 12 o'clock or 11 o'clock there, 10 o'clock here. We're gonna need our subs. We're gonna need our reserves, and hopefully the fitness that we've been doing for game wise as well as off the field, it pays off. But I think come Sunday you're gonna have some tired teams, and I think it's gonna be a battle of who can make the least amount of mistakes and who can punish the other team that does do those mistakes. So 2 different sort of game plans, but at the end of the day, excited about the opportunities, about 2 really good teams, Dayton from the A-10 and obviously the Big Ten with Ohio State. So 2 great opportunities for us.
All right, Coach. Well, it sounds good. I know you'll be the Road Warriors this season, starting this weekend, and we will catch up with you next week.
Always looking forward to it, Jeff. Thanks for taking the time.
Richard Mulrooney, I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.